Tuesday evening. Got home from work. I finally took all the air conditioners out of the windows just tonight. I mean, we had a couple of those cold nights, a couple hard frosts, the garden's done. But it's been mild enough where I just kind of blew it off. But today when I left work was the first day where it was like really burr, and I was glad I brought my actual coat. So the first thing I did when I got home was take all the AC units out, and so I could close up those windows tight. So that feels good. This is going to be another show that's going to be shot in a couple days. Well, actually 2 nights. I'll tell you why in a minute. Not like the leftover show that took several days to concoct. Finished my leftovers. Actually, I finished them yesterday. It's Tuesday evening. I had the last of the turkey, stuffing, gravy. Stuff was amazing. Not going to lie, after 5 days, I was glad it's done. Today I had a salad at work, and boy, did that feel good. But also I had a little bowl of the Asian turkey soup, and then I had a few cups of that left. I put it in a big yogurt container and stashed it away in the freezer. I love to do that because I'll forget about it, and in a few weeks to a month I'll be like, ooh, this is that soup, because it was really delicious. But what I want to do now, this is not tonight's dinner. I'm fixing my dinner separately, but I think I'm going to make Thursday. I had recently, about a month ago or so, homemade pupusa from this beautiful woman from El Salvador. And boy, did it floor me. It was phenomenal. So I want to try to make my own. So I'll do that either Thursday or Friday night. But what floored me with hers was the curtido. Am I saying that right? But it's the little Salvadoran slaw that they serve with the pupusa, and I could not get enough of it. I told her when I ate it, I said, this is phenomenal. So tonight we're going to make that. And as usual with these things, there's many different ways of doing it. I'm sure different families, just like with Italians with the sauce and whatnot. So I did my homework, found a whole bunch of different ways it's done, and I'm concocting my own by what I have in the kitchen. So let's head over to the board. Come on, let's do it.
Come on, let's do it.
Many years ago, I had a friend visit me. He's kind of a culinary friend, and he started giving me grief. He was making fun of my Cuisinart Classic, talking about how outdated it looked. That was 15 or 20 years ago. I've had this thing. My mom gave me this, probably as a birthday gift, in the early to mid-90s. So it's 30 some odd years old. I love it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I've got the slicer blade on here. And what we're going to do, I've got the other half of that green cabbage that I used for the turkey soup. I've got a little red onion. I already did the prep so we could get right to this. And I've got a carrot. And then I'm not going to put this through. I'll slice this. I already took the seeds out, but this is one of my almost last and final jalapenos. And it's just been on the counter for, I don't know, close to a month, but they start to dry out. This one's still got juice in it. It's nice and leathery, so that's perfect. You can see I just leave them on the counter. Eventually they'll dry, and then you can crush them like crushed red pepper. But let's get this stuff sliced up. So let's start with the cabbage. We'll use the slicer blade. For the carrot, I'm going to use the shredder blade. Okay? Okay, cabbage and red onion. Let's throw that in a bowl so we can switch blades. Nice. Maybe a little more onion? No, actually that looks good. Let's get the shredder blade on. full disclosure on this show always. I can't keep secrets from you people. I tried the carrot while the camera was on, and all it did was slice it into discs. So that's why I decided, and I could just use the hand shredder for this, but the bowl's already got stuff in it. Why not? It takes a half a second to rinse off the blade. Where's that flat part? There we go. Okay, carrot. That's what I'm talking about. See, this is what happened with the slice blade. This is what I want. So there's our veggie mix. I'm just going to slice the jalapeno by hand and toss that in. Now, let's get to the pickling liquid. Cut of tea dough. Here we go. I sliced up that jalapeno. You can see it in there. So just the green cabbage, carrot, red onion, jalapeno. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in about a tablespoon of this dried oregano. Now if you really wanted to be technical, it would be Mexican oregano. This is just what I have in the pantry from the health food store. More than likely Italian oregano. Okay, now, as I mentioned, it's kind of a quick pickle. So on the stove, I had some hot water. I'm gonna go with 1 cup hot water. 1 cup vinegar. And there's different recipes called for different things. I saw some with lime juice, some said cider vinegar, some said white vinegar. I like them all and I like the differences. So I'm going to go with some apple cider. Another cup, it's a 1-to-1, which is your quick pickling thing, water to vinegar. I'm going to go with some white vinegar, white wine vinegar. And I'll top it off with my rice vinegar. So there we go, 2 cups, and that's the end of that one. I think I have an unopened one in the pantry because I love rice wine vinegar. So that's, let me just top that off with cider. Get that up to 2 cups. And then a teaspoon each of salt and sugar. Quick pickling. This is the same thing I did for the peppers, basically, with slight variations. But water, vinegar, sugar, and salt. That's your basic quick pickling concoction. Let's dissolve that salt and sugar. And just go right in while it's still hot. Yep, it's got some heat on it. It's not boiling because of the vinegar, which is nice, but we got some heat on it. Let's take our tongs, give everything a good mix. And I'm just going to let this sit until it comes to room temperature. And then I'll put some plastic wrap on this and put it in the fridge. And this is usable. I mean, it's usable now. The idea with a quick pickle is that it's just going to get better over the next couple of days. That's why I wanted to do it tonight. It's delicious, but trust me, when it ferments, pickles a little, it just, again, this is what floored me on the pupusa. So it's Tuesday. I'll make them either Thursday or Friday. Let's see how the week goes. Tomorrow is deadline. But honestly, the longer that sits in the fridge, the better. So I will, well, I'll see you momentarily, but it'll be a couple of days from now. Okay, Friday night, time to make the pupusa. We're going to start with the dough, the masa. I've got everything out over here on the board. Let's head over. Come on. Let's do it.
Come on, let's do it.
All right, we're going with the maseca. Little masa. I've got 3 cups in here. 2 3/4 cups of water. And I'm going to put 2 teaspoons of kosher salt in the masa. Very simple corn dough. Two and 3/4 to 3 cups masa. Start out with the old Danish whisk, but eventually I'm just going to use my hands for the cornmeal. It's a little different than flour. Absorbing that water nicely. You want all that water absorbed. Now the dough, even when it's completed though, is going to be kind of wet. This is not like flour and bread baking, etc. This is going to be a wet. And now I'll just go in with my fingers, try to smooth everything out. But really get all that water in there. See, there's still some dry masa at the bottom of the bowl. I want to get a nice even mix. It's coming together. Ooh, plenty of masa down there. Let's get it all incorporated, all hydrated. Alright, I think it's coming together pretty well. The dough wants to be wet. This way when we fry them on the griddle, they get that nice crispy, that nice charred exterior, but the inside is still soft, tender, still has a little moisture to it. Alright, I think we're good. Now let's make our masa balls, our little pupusa. I have this ice cream scoop that's 2 ounces. It should be 4, but I'm going to use it twice for each one like so. Make a nice little ball. Put it out on this parchment. So I'll get these all going, and then when I have them ready, we'll look at what we're going to fill them with. Time to make the pupusa. Here's the masa balls. I got 13 out of it. They're nice and soft, nice and moist. And we're going to use pumpkin, because just before Thanksgiving, these sugar pumpkins were on sale. People make pies and whatnot. And I grabbed one because I saw a great YouTube video for the chickens. I gave them the seeds, ground up with oat milk, and some straight up pumpkin seeds like from the market. Here, check this out. Man, they loved it. So I got to get more pumpkins while I can before winter comes in. So we're going to use pumpkin for the filling. These are my pickled peppers. It's a beautiful mix of green cherry, green jalapeno, red cherry, and red jalapeno. Now, you should use a Oaxacan cheese, which I had. I had a nice Oaxacan mozzarella style cheese, but I used it all up. And then I went to 2 stores to try to replace it. No Oaxacan cheese. But mozzarella is just fine. I added a little grated cheddar and some grana padano just to fill out the flavor. So here's what we're going to do. Back here I've got a bowl with just water with a little oil in it, because this dough can be very sticky. So we're going to start by flattening this down, maybe a 1/2 inch thick. And then we're going to take a little cheese. All right, more than a little cheese. Going to take some pumpkin, some pickled pepper. Now I'm going to fold this over. Get everything inside there. Seal it up and start shaping it down, patting it down. It's got a nice filling in there. Get it about 1/4 of an inch thick, maybe about 4 inches in diameter. And I have a little cooling rack in the oven, and the oven's just warm. It's like 170. So I'm going to keep these in there, and then I'll do the rest of them. And when they're all ready, we'll fry them up. I actually had a lot of fun making these things. Kind of reminded me of sort of like making arancini, but a little different. Because you squeeze them out, but with that filling in there, wrapping it around the filling. Really fun. Oh, they already smell great. Now, the trick is, I'm trying to pick them up off here, but keep them intact. Remember, they have that melty cheese inside. So we want to try to keep them encapsulated. This cast iron gets hotter than that one, which actually works in my favor in this case. Because by the time I get that filled with them, I'll probably be ready to flip these. Oh, it smells amazing. I can't even describe the aroma right now. Get that nice little blackened on the bottom. It's certainly not burned. They're doing just fine. Alright, I'll get these cooked up. I'll put them in the oven, 170 as they finish. When they're all cooked, I'll plate a couple up and we'll give them a go. Okay, this is what we're looking for. See that color? Getting a little crunchy on the outside. This one's getting a little slower going, but it'll heat up. So I'll finish cooking them off. Man, am I thrilled. Alright, here's our pupusa hot off the presses. Still have a couple more in here. Let me get those off. They're finishing up. Alright, well those finish up. Let me choose two. They're all the same. I just guess I'm just going to choose by which ones have a pretty color. There we go. I'll take those two. Let me shut that flame because I think we're all good. Those can actually sit in the cast iron and finish up there. So let's put these two guys front and center. Let's get some of our 3-day fermented pickled curtido on there. Now also what's beautiful with these is a nice little red salsa, which I did not get around to. I thought about it. I'll make some tomorrow because I got plenty of these things left over. I'm going to bring some to that Salvadorian woman and see what she thinks about it. Is it Salvadoran or Salvadorian? I don't know. Remember, these have 3 cheese mix, mozzarella, cheddar, and grana. They have pumpkin and a mix of pickled cherry and jalapeno. Let's see what I got here. Oh, that masa. Pupusa. Con curtido. It's just like when I had hers. The masa is delicious. It's got the filling, the cheese, in my case, a little pumpkin. But I'm telling you, it's all about this little quick pickled slaw, for my taste anyway. Pupusa. I'm happy I tried this one. We'll see you for the next episode.
Come on, let's do it.